Hello and welcome to Forex London Session live stream. So, first of all, we will look at what we were anticipating yesterday, and all right. Yesterday in GBP I was anticipating buys above 165.600. Other than that, I decided that I will ignore everything else. Our buy opportunity presented here. I executed a trade with 15 pips stops, and I didn't hold my trade for longer, else I will have secured like 15-16 pips on this trade. So from now on I have decided that I will at least hold my trade for at least 10 pips. I will not execute close partial position before 10 pips. And yeah, in gold our prediction played out perfectly when prices were right in here. I was expecting bearish move and expecting prices to touch 1698 area yesterday because of my reasons I have explained in 20th July live stream. And I even executed a short position right in here and secured 16-17 pips on this position. And I also placed a sell stop below these candle wicks. That sell stop didn't got activated. We started consolidating, and at that point it was very clear to me there is a probability for gold to retest 1712 area before pushing down till 1698 area. And 45 minutes later our pattern to appear, and I could have executed this short position by placing 27 pips of stop loss because I was pretty sure we will hit 6098 area yesterday. And yeah, that prediction went very well, and we dropped till 1698 area and we even continued pushing down. So that was our analysis for yesterday. We will redo our analysis for today. First of all, we will delete everything from charts. All right. We will go look at monthly time frame. In gold, in monthly we are approaching towards the 1680 area, which is almost 100 pips away. And these this monthly candle is dropping with a lot of volume, and we didn't witness any retracement on this monthly candle. We are dropping straight, and the next support level is at 1680 area. Below that support level we have a clean range till 1573, but almost 9 days left in candles to close, monthly candle to close. And if we look at weekly, in weekly time frame, the current weekly candle has a wick up first and then started breaking below the lows of previous weekly candle in last 2 days. So there is a probability for prices to keep pushing down till 1680 area, but we can't trade off of weekly time frame, so we need to look at smaller time frame. By looking at daily time frame, right at this point I was pretty sure that we will drop till 1698 area. We dropped almost like 200 pips from my mentioned position, and for now we need to look at what markets are trying to give us. We have created a most recent resistance at 1711 area. If we look at H4, we will readjust our zones. Most recent resistance is at 1708 area, and we don't have a nearby support. We have nearby support in April 2021. So, and we basically knew that there is a support at 1680 area right in here. Above that support we will look at from prior history. Let's go to smaller time frame. If we go to smaller time frame, we can see we are creating a most recent area at 1709 area, and we will look at this price action in details. Yeah, we are basically creating a support at 1691 area, which is H1 support. We also created a resistance at 1693 area. If we look at in M30 time frame, all right. If we break above 1693 area, we can potentially keep pushing up in this 30 pips range, and above 1696 area we can potentially keep pushing up in this range till 1702 area, almost 59 pips. But we need to keep in mind that overall trend is bearish. We need to make our decisions based on higher time frame trend. So if we look at M15 and adjust our zones a little bit, we have a support at 1698 area, 1690 area, and we will look left all the way left to this area to find our support and resistance. Alright, below 1690 area we have another support at 1684 area, and below that support we have another support at 1680 area. Yeah, but this whole move is around 100 pips, but it is very strong area. We need to be very careful at this point. And if we look even further back, by looking at in here, we have another support at 1687. I will draw that, and yeah, that's it. So these are our levels. 1687 and 1681 are weaker as compared to other areas. So these are weaker zones. I will rather just remove these zones. I will just keep these zones. And if we go to our today, we are just waiting. We need to wait. And gold at this point is very tricky to trade because I knew that my my trading patterns basically appear in these areas in trending markets when prices are dropping. My trading patterns do occur, but they are less frequent. So I basically need to develop a pattern to trade these to trade markets in trending markets. Basically, for now, I know that how I can trade in consolidation. Like in this type of consolidation, we made a pretty good gains starting from past week. So let's write down what we are anticipating in gold. Bearish trend, and market is trending down. These are the two factors that we need to take into account before placing any trade, because we should keep in mind that market, because in this type of market there is a high probability for shorts to work trades that are in line with higher time frame trends. And yes, so this is all our analysis for gold. We are looking for buys above 618.97. Other than that, we are in short. We knew that in higher time frame we are dropping with volume. There is a probability that for today we will continue pushing down. We may execute on a trade based on our trading patterns. And we also knew that our trading patterns normally appear less frequently in trending markets. So we are keeping both these points in our mind. And if we look at GBP/JPY, let's go to monthly time frame. In monthly, this candle, when it was creating a lower wick, I was pretty confident that that monthly candle will flip bullish. And yeah, it has now flipped bullish. We are above this zone at 163.500 area. In monthly time frame, there is a probability, just by looking at monthly time frame, there is a probability that prices can touch previous candle high at 168.700 area. If I look at weekly time frame, we created a support in weekly time frame, and we are basically trying to break above 165.4 600 area resistance in current weekly candle is about to close in 2 days, so maybe we can potentially keep pushing up. And if we look at our daily time frame, we have support at 162.700 area. We have no resistance at this point. We have most recent resistance at 166.200 area. If we look in H4 time frame, we will draw our zones. We have a support at 165 and we have a resistance at 166. We are consolidating in this 100 pips of range. We are creating another support at 165.500 area, and if and we will look at smaller time frame. We will readjust our zones a little bit. Now we have support at 164.800, we have support at 165.300, and we have resistance at 166 area. And if we look at M30, we are basically creating an other resistance, but it is weak resistance at 165.900 area. So if we break above 166.200 area, we will look left to where prices can potentially move. We wanted to see where prices can move above 166.100 area, and above that area we have a wick at 166.300, almost 20 pips away. All and above that wick we have a move of almost 35-36 pips. So yeah, if we break above 166.100 area, we can potentially keep pushing till 166.300, or we may even move till 166.700 area, but for that we need to wait. And on the other hand, if we break below 165.300 area, we can potentially keep pushing down till 164.700 area. So this was our analysis. GBP JPY in my opinion is difficult to trade because we are just consolidating, but we will find look to see if we can find some good trades in GBP JPY. Also, if we look in gold, my opinion is we will do a little bit of retracement and start pushing down later in New York session, but we need to wait for that idea to happen. For now, there is nothing in gold and in GBP JPY. So we are just waiting. Today is 21st of July. We are trying to break above the wick to the left, and there is a probability for prices to keep pushing up, but we are 20 minutes away from London session open, so we are in pre-London session. It is in our best interest at this point to wait for London session open. And in gold, we are basically testing 1690 area. I am looking to see if we can find some patterns in 1690 area to potentially keep pushing down later on, but at this point there is nothing. Although prices are trying to move up in GBP JPY, but we are not concerned about that. We will just trade what we anticipated, so we are just waiting. We need to wait for 20 more minutes for London session to open, and then maybe we can execute on something. Even if we break above this wick, we have a dirty consolidation to the left, and the range is only 21 pips, so executing on this trade will be very risky, and it is in our best interest to just wait for better entries to appear. Although prices, it seems like we will continue pushing up, but we are not attracted by that. We are just waiting for better executions, better entries to appear later on. And basically, I don't want to give my gains back to the market, so I will rather wait. And I am pretty sure based on my skill level that I will find one to two very good trades later on. Alright, let's look at news. If we look at news today, we have basically ECB is trying to increase their interest rates to 0.25% in New York Session. So I'm expecting a big volume in markets on this news, but although the interest rates are about to increase, we are expecting stronger euro. But the whole problem is inflation. There is a lot of inflation, And despite the fact that interest rate is going to increase, we may see down move in euro because of inflation. And European Union is trying to increase its interest rate after 2014, after about 8 years, as far as I have researched. So it can be a big mover and big event. So in my opinion, volume will appear in markets later on in New York session, and there is a probability that we can find very good trades in New York session. If we look at GBP/JPY, the previous 15-minute candle closed above all the candles to the left hand side, and there is a probability that if we break above this week at 165.900, we can potentially keep pushing up in this 20 pips of range. But this is a very difficult trade for me to capture. The reason being, we have only 20 pips of range and we can reject anywhere from this area. So I may not be able to get full 20 pips on this trade. So it is in my best interest to just wait for better trade ideas, maybe later in New York session. And yes. If we look at gold, we have closed at 1690 area. We have closed below that area. So there is a probability that we can continue pushing down till 1684 area, almost 40 pips away. But we need a better entry. We need a better confirmation to execute this short position. And at this point, we are not concerned about shorts. We are just waiting. We are waiting for better entries. And in GJ, nothing in GJ, nothing in gold. We are just waiting. In GBP JPY we are consolidating. 10 10 minutes left in London session to open. We are just waiting for London session to open. If we look at hourly candle, there is a probability for prices to keep pushing up if hourly candle closes like this, and we will, if we are to execute a position, we will execute a position once next H1 candle wicks below first and then starts to continue and then starts breaking its own high. At that point we will execute a position for potential 25 pips of TP. Other than that, we will just stay away from this trade. The whole reason is we basically broke above these previous two candle wicks, and if we now close below these wicks, so it is basically a red flag because we have picked up orders, buy orders. Like I have said that if we break above these wicks we can potentially keep pushing up. There are a lot of traders who have placed their buy stops above previous candle wick, so those buy stops got activated, and if we now close back inside the range, our whole anticipation for buys will be delayed. So we will reevaluate and redo our analysis later on, but we are just waiting at this point. We are just waiting. Yeah, at this point, if even if I was in buy trade, I would have closed everything at this point, because if we are breaking above the high, there is no point for candles to come back inside the range. So we are just waiting. In gold, nothing. We are just waiting. In the meantime, we will look at our patterns for revision. We have 1, 2, and 3 patterns. We will look at them. And yes, let's look at pattern 1 example. I basically execute a trade yesterday in GBP JPY based on pattern 1. This was our pattern, sorry, this was our pattern 1. I closed my position early as I will have secured like 20 pips from this trade. Pattern 1 basically, if we go back to definition of pattern 1, yeah, we require four things in pattern 1. First of all, we require fake outs, and then we require a zone right in here where the position is about to be executed. And third thing, we require volume. We anticipate volume is in the markets by looking at the size of candle bodies. Big bodies mean there is some sort of volume in market. And the fourth thing is candle first needs to wake up first, and when it starts to break below the lows, when it starts to break its own low, this is where I executed my position, won a trade, and that's it. If we look at pattern 2, in pattern 2 we require basically a trend, established higher time frame trend. We are trending down and we require volume. We moved up with volume, and we require a fake out at this point. Uh, this is pattern 3. We move down. We basically, it is a retracement in a trending market to execute a position. We were trending down, we retraced up to potentially keep pushing down later on. This is where my execution on pattern 2 should be, right in here. If we look at pattern 3, pattern 3 is basically a difficult pattern. We have two H4 areas right in here. This is H4 area and this red line is H4 area. Basically, price do a fake out below and above those areas, and once it closes back inside the range, this is where execution should be for pattern 3. And this is pattern 1 variation in which we close a bullish candle at support and starts to break below the low later on. This is also a little bit variation of pattern 1. And yeah, this was all for our patterns that we will apply today. And yeah, nothing in GBP JPY, nothing in gold at this point. We are just waiting. We are just waiting. All right, now we are in London Open. In GBP JPY, we need to be very careful. Why? Because candles are closing with small bodies but with big wicks. What that usually means that volume is absent from markets. So we need to be very careful with GBP JPY because we are throwing wicks. Let's write it down. Volume is absent in GJ. So stay away from it. Maybe we can find some excellent trade near ECB interest rate when ECB will announce interest rates. Other than that, we will just stay away from GBP JPY at this point. And if we look at gold, we have basically done a fake out below 1690 area, but for that fake out to be valid, we wanted candles to close inside this range. Other than that, we will just observe the market. We will not execute any position. We starts consolidating, although there is a probability for prices to keep pushing down, but we are not concerned about that. We are just waiting for prices to show us something in gold and in GBP JPY. We are just waiting, we are just consolidating. DJ at this point is very risky to trade because we have candle wicks to the upside and to the downside from previous four candles. So we are just waiting. In gold, there is no execution, although our bias is shorts in gold, but we want a better execution. We are just waiting in GBP, JPY and in gold. Today, the main event of the day will happen in 5 hours from now, and there is a probability we will get high volume at that point, and we may get some pretty good trades at that point. But for now, there is nothing. We are just waiting. We are waiting for. We are just waiting at this point. There is nothing for us to do in current market situation. In gold, there is a probability for prices to keep pushing down, but as we want better execution, we will not execute on this trade. We are just waiting. We are closing with very small bodies in GBP JPY, and we have upper and lower wicks in both. in these candles, and it is in our best interest to just stay away from GBP JPY at this point. And in gold, we have broken below the low. We can potentially keep pushing down, but we want better execution, so we are just waiting. The current H1 candle is only 11 minutes old. We created a wick up first and then starts pushing down, and as we are trending in higher time frame, so this move do make sense, but I was waiting for better execution. That's why I didn't execute it on this trade. And yeah, that's it. In GBP JPY, in my opinion, we have little to no volume, so stay just avoiding GBP JPY trades will make more sense at this point. We are moving 4 pips up, 4 pips down. This is what is happening in GBP JPY. In gold, we are at 1687 and we can potentially drop till 1684, almost 21 pips away. Yeah, here we are, we rejected from 1685 area. This whole move down was about 40 pips. We are just waiting at this point. M15 candles are about to close. Let's see how these M15 candles will close. The spreads in gold are around the pips. This is probably due to the fact we have volatility in gold, and in GBP JPY our decision to stay away from GBP JPY really saved us from some bad trades. And all right, M15 candles have closed. In gold we have closed bearish below previous candles low, And for current candle it makes sense to wick up first and then starts pushing down, but we are just waiting at this point. In GBP/JPY we are just consolidating, and in gold we are just waiting. Our bias was shorts right in the start. Shorts do play out, but we we wanted better execution. We weren't given any chance to execute on this trade. We are just waiting for better execution, and maybe we can find something in New York session. So let's wait and let's see how these candles will close. In the meantime, I am also looking for buys above 1693 area, but these buys will be very risky, and market needs to fulfill some conditions for me to potentially execute a trade. Buys are risky, and market needs to fulfill some conditions for execution. Other than that, I will just stay away from trade. If we close back inside the range above 1690 area, so then there will be a probability that this move down was a fake out for potential move up later on in the session, but we are just waiting, and we will find out soon. We are waiting for current 15-minute candle to close, and then maybe we can find a trade. We are just waiting. In GBP/JPY we have haphazard movements up and down. There is nothing in GBP/JPY. We need to break and close above 165.900 area for potential buys, and we need to break and close below 165.300 area for potential shorts. Other than that, we will just ignore every noise. If we look at gold, the current 30-minute candle flips bullish, but there are 10 minutes left in current 30-minute candle to close. If this thing is a fake out, we may get to execute a position, but we need to see how these candles will close because it is too early at this point to say where prices can go. We are just waiting. In the meantime, let's look at account history. Let's look at our performance for current week. All right, we basically made profits of $31. We took about 5 trades in 3 trading days, and 3% is about 31 US dollar is about 3% on my account. I basically made this profit all on very small lots, very small risk as compared to my account size. If we look at 2 weeks history, we are in 30 US dollar profit. Basically, in previous week I took about 5 trades. Two were winners and three were losers, but I was able to close the week at break even because market was not as per my plans. If we look at 3 week history, we are in 35 US dollar profit, about 3.5% on my account, and took 3 trades in previous week. One was loser, one was winner, and yeah, if we look at our monthly history starting from July, we are up about 50 US dollar, 5% profit on my account, and my target and my goal is to achieve 3 to 5% profits on my account. So we are pretty close towards our profit target, and yeah, this was all my history. So we are just waiting for current 15-minute candle to close. If it closes above 1691 area, there is a probability we can find some pretty good trades in few in next 30 minutes, I guess. But this candle needs to close at least above these candle highs, above 1690, I will say. In GBP JPY, we are in consolidation, and I will avoid this dirty consolidation. Yeah, gold is doing what I was anticipating. I am getting myself prepared because I will execute buys above 1693 area if gold market fulfills some of conditions, then I will execute. Basically, conditions for pattern 1, what are those conditions? You can go to my blog and you can look at that, but I remember those conditions, so I am looking for those conditions and I may execute. In the meantime, I also need to consider spread, which is around 3 pips in gold at this point. So we will also consider that. For now, we are just waiting. Nothing for us to do at this point. We are just waiting for candle closing, and 30-minute candle is about to close in GBP JPY. I I would have executed buys above 165.900, but the whole problem is we are creating a lot of wicks, so I am concerned about my buy position. Else I would have executed a buy position in gold if it weren't for these wicks, a lot of wicks. Else my buys will be valid above 165.900 area, but for now we are just waiting. M15 candles are about to close in 2 minutes. Basically, in gold we have this breakout pattern. I am looking at these patterns, and yeah, right in here. Everything else is similar, but the whole problem at this point is we have little to no volume in GBP JPY. That's my whole problem, else I will have executed buys. Since it is a very risky trade, I will go with very small lot size on this, and I will execute a buy once we starts to break above these wicks. I will place my stops around 20 pips, and yes, but I want this candle to close and then maybe I can execute a position. In gold, there is a probability we will find a pretty good trade in few minutes. So in next at 2 M15 candles, so we need to wait. So as this M15 candle has closed bearish, so there is no point of placing a buy stop above this area because it just invalidated our bias. And in gold, yeah, this is what I was anticipating, and now there is a probability we will find a very good buy trade above 1693 area. But I want current M15 candle to close bullish to potentially execute on next day, next M15 candle. Other than that, I will just stay away from gold. Alright, we are moving up and the spread on gold has jumped to 4 pips. So this is what I was anticipating, but the candle has little to no wick at the low. So it is very risky to execute, but I will execute, but my better execution will be on next 15-minute candle, not on this point. I'm getting myself prepared about buys. For now, we are just waiting. Now at this point, two things can happen. I am ready for both those two things. Either we will create a bullish candle and we will go in buys on next candle, next M15 candle, or we will close bullish and next M15 candle will close bearish, and then we can potentially test this area. But we are just waiting, and we are looking to see how candles will close, and then maybe we can execute a potential position. But at this point there is nothing. It was a pretty good decision to stay away from trades in GBP JPY, else we will have experienced a loss. Actually, loss is not a bad thing, but if it messes your psychology, then it is pretty bad thing. We are waiting for 8 more minutes for candles to close, and then maybe we can execute a position. Nothing in gold and nothing in GBP JPY. We are just waiting. We are waiting for M15 candles to close, and then maybe on next M15 candle we can probably execute a position. If candle closes like this, then man, it will be wonderful, trust me, for buy execution on next candle. But we want a candle to close. Candle has moved down in last 2 minutes, which which is sort of okay because we can now execute on short position, but the whole problem is our stops will be around 30 pips. We will look to see that if we can manage our stops and execute a position in gold, but we are just waiting at this point. The current H1 candle has basically wicked all the way down first, and then it wicked all the way up, and now it is in the middle. So by looking at H1, it is very difficult to anticipate where prices can potentially move. Yeah, man, it has closed, and now there is a probability for prices to keep pushing down at least 20-23 pips. This the previous M15 candle has closed with very small body. It basically closed at same point where it started, so it is very difficult at this point to anticipate where prices can move by looking at previous M15 candle. So it is in our best interest to just wait for more confirmations. If the current 15-minute candle wicks up first, I may execute shorts, sell position for potentially 20-23 pips of take profit. But it do need to wick up first, else I am not executing. We are waiting for current 15-minute candle to close because there is a probability still that we can find some trades on next 15-minute candle. So we are just waiting for current 15-minute candle to close. The only way I will execute on current 15-minute candle is if the current 15-minute candle wicks up first till 1691 1692 area and then starts to break below its own low later on, and that's that is the only reason I will execute on current M15 candle. Since it has started to move down with no little to no wick at the top, so it is not a valid execution, valid entry as per my trading plan, so I will rather avoid this trade. If we look at GBP JPY, nothing in GBP JPY, we are just consolidating, and basically I anticipated that volume isn't present in GBP JPY almost 1 hour ago, and we were pretty right in our anticipation. So we are just waiting for gold. Maybe we can find some execution later on. Let's look at gold on other broker. Maybe my broker hasn't printed the candles in the right way. Nope, nothing. Nothing in gold, nothing in GBP JPY. I have find some other pattern in gold and in GBP JPY. I will basically up I will basically take screenshots of that pattern, and maybe we will be able to execute on that pattern later on. All right, hourly candle and 15-minute candles have now closed. Let's look at in in GBP JPY we have closed bearish. If the current 50 M30 candle wakes up first and then starts to break below the low, I will potentially execute a short position. and we are just waiting basically in GBP JPY. In GBP JPY we can see some sort of volume is present, and let's look at gold. In gold, M30 candle has closed strong bearish with the wick all the way up till 1693 area, so there is probability that if we respect 1691 area we can potentially keep pushing down. The hourly candle in gold has closed with no indication where prices can potentially move, so it is in our best interest to wait for more confirmations and just stay. I will just stay away both from GBP JPY and from gold, and I will basically see you guys later on in New York session live stream, and there is a very high probability that we will capture some good trades in New York session. If the current 30-minute candle wicks up first and then starts to break below these lows, execute sell position by placing stops above that wick for potential 25-30 pips of take profit. I will be basically waiting for that execution, and yeah, we are just waiting. All right, we are just waiting at this point. There is nothing in gold and in GBP JPY at this point. We are just consolidating. Nothing in gold and nothing in GBP JPY so far. GBP JPY is basically breaking below the lows. I will execute a trade, but on my demo account. Let's see how that trade plays out. My stops is around 25 pips and my potential TP is around 30 pips. Let's see what will happen. And in the gold there is nothing. Yeah, GBP JPY is dropping, but we missed the trade because candle don't have an upper wick, else I will have executed on GBP JPY shorts, and I am pretty sure I will have captured like 10-11 pips only if the candle has upper wick. Yeah, GJ is dropping, but nothing for us for today. Maybe we can execute something later on in New York session. Yeah, GBP JPY man, this trade was as per my patterns, but the only problem with this trade was that it don't have an upper wick. That's my whole reason to avoid this trade, else I would have executed on this trade and made profits and secured like 20 pips from that trade. But this is the way things are. That's why this market is so tough to trade, because you wait for so many hours for your entry to appear and that entry doesn't give you any chance to enter. This is the way things are. Nothing in gold at this point, nothing in GBP JPY at this point. I will just go off of live stream and I will see you guys later in New York session. And I am very confident that we will find some excellent